Episode 25 with you, man. Just been slicing it up when I can and as much as I can and enjoying life, man. How about you? Yeah, I know you turned into a professional lurker, bro. It's crazy. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
the space is going so quick, dude. It's everything is moving. It's funny how they say a week in Web3 is like a year in the real life, and stuff just continues to pop off.
yeah,
It's
man.
amazing how.
It's truly crazy how fast the market moves in Web three, especially when your job is Web three now. So yeah, you have to be ready to change. On the fly. You have to be able to be very just very flexible in what you do, man. So yeah. Other than that, man, excited to be here. Excited to do our show. This is kind of where I get away and I get to talk with the boys, man.
Yes, that's right, man. That's what we want it to be all about. Like the title says, friends and family, right? We're just here bullshitting together and chilling and relaxing and trying to have a good time and talk about what we like.
Yeah, man.
Uh,
A lot of exciting updates, right? Like especially where we are at the market. As you see, we're kind of like I would say we're in a consolidation phase. We're going up and down, up and down. We do have little pumps here, and then we'll have falls as well. I think it's probably gonna keep like this, man, until really we see a significant decrease in the interest rates. You know,
I don't think that's
um,
going to happen for quite a while either, though, man.
bro.
I
And the Fed's announcing this week, right, that the BPS rates, and some are honestly bullish on it, because instead of 75 BPS, they might raise it up to 50 BPS. But in my thinking, it's like interest rates are still going up, so it is long term bearish. Um, But yeah, you just
Man, you can listen back to the episodes. I called it in September, I believe. I told you they're going to raise the BPS by 150 points, but within the next 3 months,
yeah,
3 to 6 months, right? And even if they raise it up 75 right after I said that, so even if they just raise it up only zero point 0.5 for the 50 BPS, it's still going up more,
right.
guys. I see a continue. I don't find it unfeasible to see interest rates around the double digit mark, man. By the time things get going, so it's a long stagnation right now. I was looking back at the ETH when you look at it like on uh, the week long schedule or the graph. Right now, we've been crabbing sideways. Right? We
Yeah,
crabbed in the middle of summer. We crabbed right in the beginning of fall. So in the September to October, just crab sideways. We are at our highs right now are in the low of that. And then back in June to July, when we were crabbing again, we are at the lows of their highs. So we're continued stagnation going downwards. Of course, we have those crazy days that happen sometimes, especially when you have news like FTX and stuff. But we're in a downward trend, and overall, the whole market compared to a year ago, we're at the best coins are 30% of their value, right?
yeah,
Some coins are 5% of their value, and they're still good coins, but they're literally any people who have been holding the entire time lost 80% of their value. So I
oh
mean,
yeah, man, for sure. And
it's already been a bloodbath. So
the only
we'll see.
positive thing right now is, right now, I don't think Web3 is going anywhere. I think it's just like how, when the World Wide Web came about, right? Like everybody was just not too sure of it, and there is even the so-called .com crash or whatever, right? I think we're just at a vital time where it's early, and then when it pop off, it's gonna pop off. But right now, like honestly, I see a recession probably heading into 2023 just because I mean they're like they said they're going to taper down on rates, but rates are still going up.
Rates are
So
still going up.
the camel's got to bust
Mm-hmm.
the hump somewhere, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I see about that, man. And
Yeah, if you look back into the 60s and 70s, they had like 13% interest rates, though, man. And so things can always get worse. The Fed is a not a government entity; it is still a private entity, and they're looking for their own best interest to get their money back. Right? They need to
right.
make some return. So you got to remember they are in it to make money off of the American people. So they're going to continue to do what they need to do
Yep.
until they think that they can manipulate the economy better by lowering the interest rates,
Yeah.
because that's what they do. So I don't know. I don't think I know we're going to be in a recession going into 2023,
Yeah,
and I think
man.
it might last that whole year. So
Yeah, and
we'll
you know
see.
what, the bullish I'm still bullish, man, because this is the time where you buy, right? And speaking
Oh
of
yeah,
buying, right, we have, a couple of projects that we follow constantly, right? Champions Ascension and a couple other projects that we follow. But I've liked what's happening so far. There was like a invite links for friends and family that was done. Um, I'm glad that they did the invite links. I just wish it was more a little bit Web 2, because
yeah.
hearing
Web 2 friendly for sure.
yeah, because I just hearing from a couple of people, they try to tell their friends, and as soon as they heard like they had to make a wallet, it was like, oh, I'm good, I'm not doing that, right? And
And
that's gonna be like the biggest challenge for us.
that is, and the biggest thing that they don't really realize is that the making of the wallet isn't really anything that matters to them if they're playing on the invite link, right? This would have been an excellent test of them creating custodial wallets for people and just being like, we're essentially creating this for you on your behalf. You know, have it log in to have them download MetaMask and then just have it instantly upload or something like that. If there was some way they could do it that made it where the person didn't really have to know any of that because they're not holding any assets that have any value, that would take away the tickets for those people. But if they did something like that, I think it would incentivize Web 2 players to actually come and play the game, because they don't need to have those Web 3 rewards, right? Like if you're trying to onboard people who are playing from Web 2, they don't care about the Web 3 rewards. They want to make it. You want to make it as easy for them to play as possible.
Right.
There's little friction from entering. So why even make them a wallet?
Yeah. Yeah, and that was the thing. It was like, man, that sucks. I love the invite links. I love how easy it is. How accessible the code is. I wish we could skip the whole wallet making process for them, and have that custodial wallet like Blocklords does it, right? Like I'm following this, and I have collectibles, digital collectibles in Blocklords, and I just signed up with an email and put a password in, and the wallet was made, and I had no idea I had the wallet. But I knew that was my game account where I have my stuff, right? So that's a very great move by them, and I wish Champions would have gone that way.
The other option would have been to do something like create the Champions, because they're going to go to a layer 2 anyways, right? So create all of the Champions Ascension mystery loot boxes on Polygon, and then they could have just had people do something like another project that I'm in, where they made you log in with a phone number and create a password, and then you create an account that way, and then they're doing claims, right? So if you make a claim, once the claim closes, it's open for a certain amount of time, and once it closes, they just go through and airdrop all those people the NFT, right? So last time they had like 39,000 people do the claim, and if they're going to go out and just airdrop all that on the Polygon network, it might have cost them $300 to do that, $250 to $300 to send out 40,000 NFTs, right?
Yeah.
They can easily do something like that, and just as soon as they hit those 50 tickets, it's like they made a claim, and they can claim multiple times. It would be so simple to do something like that, because then you're making sure that people can't bot it with random phone numbers and all that good shit, because they're doing dual verification with the phone number login and the invite code. So
yeah, exactly. I wish it was a little bit more friendly, or maybe they could still change it. I don't know how that works, right? But I think if they did that, because I even told some of my family, like my brother, right? He has a PC and everything, and I was like, hey man, like all you gotta do is make a wallet and this and that. And he's like, what's that? I'm like, oh, it's like a digital safe for your stuff. And then I'm like, and it comes with like a 12-word seed phrase, and he was just like, oh man, that sounds like too much. I just want to play the game.
Yep. Believe me, I've got another buddy who I'm supposed to be going over after we're done here and setting it up and downloading the client for him, and I'm going to do everything for him, right? And make sure he has his seed phrase. But a lot of people don't have the opportunity to do that with people they want to play with.
Yeah.
They're remote, so we're just trying to get people who you, as a company, who you don't have any contact with outside of marketing and advertisement, to do this. It's going to have to be pretty flawless, and I haven't actually tried to log in with any of my own invite codes or anybody else's invite codes to see what it would look like, right? But creating the wallet in general is just going to be a huge major output. So
Yeah.
we'll see how they take it, man. But we have been getting people in. That's the thing, is we
Yeah,
have been
I've
getting
seen those
people
little
in.
guys. You see those little guys running around, man. It's just
Yep.
like they look so funny, dude. They're just like jogging around and shit. So I'm just like,
Yeah,
what the
the
hell?
little urchins, and just, oh man, they're so tiny compared to the primes,
Yeah,
dude.
bro. I'm like, damn. Like you guys are small.
Yeah, yeah. But they get a battle with the same primes in the arena, right?
Right. And
See
then
you in the arena.
I heard some talk that people were like, oh, you guys shouldn't be beating up new players like that, this and that. Like, dude, like I'm playing a game. Like literally playing a game, and I'm competitive. I'm not gonna be the type like, yeah, I'm gonna go easy on you, dude. No, I'm gonna anybody I face, I'm gonna face them like I face any opponent, right? So it's like, I mean, the new people just have to, they have to man up. They have to
You gotta
learn.
get good.
There's a
No, I feel you.
practice thing in the game for a reason.
Right?
Practice.
Like, yes, you
Like,
definitely want to at least go in, if it's your first time playing, go into the practice mode and learn what the buttons do. Don't jump in
exactly.
around with somebody if you haven't at least done that. And when this game comes out, I guarantee you there's gonna be a forced tutorial to start the game, just
Yeah,
like any
man.
other. It'll come out eventually, but right now we're still in alpha, so that's the thing too. Is like we are still in alpha, so like you could be great one week and then the meta changes and you just can't play for shit.
Yeah, man.
So,
And that's the
but
biggest thing.
these new people, like I was having a conversation with a couple people over this weekend, and someone made a comment about having tiered fighting, and again, like we'll get there, but we got to get the player base up. We don't have enough people to do tiered fighting yet, so the new people are going to have to come in and fight them and get better and learn how to play, because that's what we've all done, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and if you're a fan of this type of game, like it's a style of game that people are attracted to, right? If you get beat and you don't like the game because of that, it's because you don't like that type of game. You're not a big fighting gamer, right? Which is
Yeah.
fine. That's what we wanted people to come in and test and see, right? Like, don't come in and try and complain though and ruin it for everybody else because this isn't the style of game that you normally enjoy playing. So.
Yeah, exactly, man. And there's gonna be a lot of changes in it. I mean, I know sometimes I play it and I get frustrated, and it's just part of being a gamer, right? Like for me right now,
Yeah.
like I know this is the Whisper got their Fury of the Titans.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at first, the bugs came out where it's just like you got hit with it and you were just completely freaking blind. All you saw was white in your screen and you couldn't see nothing else. And then they ended up fixing it to something else, to where it takes a shitload of damage away from you and then it adds health to you. But that, like, now it's made like certain, in my opinion, right? And this is my opinion, right? And that's all that matters. It's just an opinion. So, not financial advice, not game advice, but like I feel the Arcane Whisperer is super OP. There's like an infinite combo in there to where you get hit by the horns. No, you get bit, hit by the horns, and then I think the tail or something like that. And then he gets his little Wrath of the Titans, hit you with it. It's like super OP, man. Especially because like a Kark doesn't have their Fury of the Titans yet.
Yeah. Right. And that's there's a couple of moves that have been OP in every single meta, and that's just the arcane whisper it's definitely OP right now. The arcane cart is definitely OP right now, and the death Eos. All three of those are like the top tier of their out of all the champs.
Yeah.
And it's because you can hit these combos, or the Fury of the Titans are so badass. The one thing that I don't like about the Fury of the Titans for the Whisperer is that it can be parried and blocked easily, right?
Yeah.
Like I had someone parry my Fury of the Titans. I'm like, what? Just like this is supposed to be something that I just saved up a bunch of energy for and took a bunch of damage. Like this should not be one. This should not be parryable. Like, and two, if they are going to block it, it still needs to do like a reduced amount of damage, but more than like 5% of what it's normally doing, anyways. Like that's just crazy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
definitely makes it not as OP of a move as something you should be saving up for.
Well, one thing that I noticed too was the pairing. It got fit. It's like a lot better. Like I noticed it's a lot better. Um, but like as far as the Kark, like, and a lot of times when the Kark faces the AOS, there's a huge speed advantage to where you can't even get off any type of animation without being hit back by the AOS, right? So
Yeah.
for me, it's like maybe we can give the Kark a little bit more weapon. Like I don't know, like they did give the AOS that teleport, and I think it's useless because multiple times it shows you the circle where they're going. So what I do is I hit them with the horns, and then before they get there, they're already stunned, and it's like, oh, like I can use this every time. And then people started learning from that, and they'll either teleport, dash back real quick, or teleport and parry.
Yeah. Well, dude, the other thing too is you can't, if you hit them when they're teleporting, they stop, right?
Yeah.
So if you're on the AOS versus AOS, then if you see them start to teleport, you throw an orb at them, and literally as soon as you see them start to teleport, if you start it, you'll hit them every time.
Yeah, I
So
even
all it
started
does is
doing
take damage.
the Kark combo on them, and it stopped them right in their tracks.
Yep. Yep. The Kark though is so hard to throw the actual weapon attacks now.
Yeah.
Yep. There's a good player can hit the parry or the block between either the fangs or the claw stun. So it's like you almost can't use the weapons when you're a Kark.
Yeah.
But I use my abilities most of the time anyway, so I'm fine with that. I can still get wins.
Yeah, definitely. And then we have some chat. Yeah, Hyro, what's up, my man? That's my guy, Hyro. Yeah, basically they should have made a sign-up option inside the game using their email and have an option where they can link their MetaMask wallet anytime they want. Yeah, exactly, man. Something built within the system. That's kind of like how a custodial wallet works. And it's very convenient, right? Because, what do you do in any other game? Like, if we wanted to play an alpha or a beta game, we would just put a code in Steam and that's it. It needs to be that easy, right? It can't be like, well, you have to go to this different website and then you have to make this MetaMask and then you have to add the extension to your Chrome and then you have to, or if you don't want to do that, you can download MetaMask and then you can import using that whole 13 seed phrase word, right? Which is like,
Yeah.
Like, fuck, man. Like, I gotta do all this bullshit just to play a beta game? I'm good. Like, if the game was out...
12 steps in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's definitely a major detractor from having more players. But...
Yeah. Just...
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll get there, man. I just think we need to get away from that whole, because it doesn't help by what FTX did and pretty much fucked everybody in the space, right? And what really dawns on me is, how is this guy still doing conferences and shit, bro? Like, shouldn't this guy be locked up because he's
in the Bahamas, man? Oh, like they don't extradite. Like they don't. The Bahamas is like the place to go. No matter what, it's gorgeous outside unless you got a hurricane on your hands or a tidal wave. And then on top of that, like, no extradition pretty much anywhere. Like, you could do whatever you want, run to the Bahamas, sip on rum for the rest of your life. Mm-hmm. Like, it's crazy that this dude's sitting over there, and they just got him to agree to testify next week. in in Congress, but he's doing it remotely from the Bahamas, right?
Yeah.
So, because he knows if he comes on U.S. soil, he's gonna get arrested
Bro,
right away.
I've never seen it to where you lose $30 billion in 24 hours and you're not in jail. It's like, what? And you're at conferences, bro, speaking on freaking CSBC or CNN. Like, what? You know, like, bro, how is this guy sitting on a couch right now, not in orange overalls with chains on his hands and feet? It's like, this is crazy.
He must have given all the Bahamian people their money back.
Oh man, yeah. What is
Everyone
it?
that invested in FTX that lived in the Bahamas, he gave them their money back before he decided to stay there.
Oh my goodness, dude. And it's kind of
I,
like,
ta- I was reading some stuff and it was saying that supposedly there's like hundreds of millions of dollars that were transferred out of FTX right before they started declaring bankruptcy.
oh
So
yeah, there's a lot of shady stuff going on, man, and it's just so much to where it's like okay, like, it was just like basically a big shit show, you know, and that's the biggest thing that's hanging over our heads now, right? Like this whole FTX thing, and now it's like people really don't want to be into crypto or Web3 period because of this, right? Because a lot of people, not just like, a lot of these people had 95% of their savings into this thing, man, and they
thing
went.
is, it's just like if a large investment firm went under, right? Say Goldman Sachs went down. It's the same thing that happened when the banks were too big to fail. But
Yep.
these aren't government insured and backed institutions yet.
Right.
And so that's exactly what happened. When you look back at it, there was an investor who was a competitor that saw they saw that they were cooking the books, so they got rid of a large part of their investment. Then they dropped the news and fucking had a run on the bank. Right? That's exactly what happened at FTX. It's happened many times before in the past at other financial institutions, and then the government stepped in and said that we're going to back these institutions so that the investors don't lose their money. That's essentially what they said when they didn't let these large investment firms and banks fail in
Yeah.
the early 2000s. So what what's the difference, right?
Yeah, man.
But
And now.
once we reach that point, then it's going to be a major tipping point for
Yeah.
the general public coming into Web3.
Yeah, and then right now you want to expect Web 2 gamers to make a wallet. Like me personally, yeah. Well, by the way, come create a wallet and let's play a game. Like, did you just see what happened? Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what a lot of people are gonna think. Me as a
Right.
gamer, being in the Web 2 and an old school gamer, right? Just playing games, just playing them for fun, not even thinking of making money. But now you can hear of this, making money playing games thing, ownership thing. But you just been hearing all this fucking shit, even with FTX, and you're just like, dude, I'm good, right? Like, the game looks fun, but I'm not comfortable creating a wallet. A
Well, and
lot.
here's the other thing that they need to realize too is a lot of gamers aren't over the age of 18, so
Mm,
they legally can't own a wallet. I don't think. Um, I don't. I mean, I know if you're gonna go to crypto.com, if you try to go to FTX or Binance or any of those types of things, right? You have to be over the age of 18 to be able to sign up and make an account.
yeah.
So, like, trying to just have everyone create a wallet, like, what about the people who are under the age of 18?
And maybe like I'm saying, like we're still using these terms wallet, this and that. Like I think those need to be changed big time, man, because you hear wallet, crypto wallet or whatever, and automatically red flags go up in my mind. Like, oh fuck. Especially since I got hacked. and all my shit got stolen. So yeah, I've experienced it. I'm always uncomfortable. I'm always very uncomfortable handling my wallet. You know, when I need to
Same.
handle it, right? And I think it's just that sense of insecurity, man. And it has to be backed, like banks, right? They're insured up to $100,000 for an account. So if I had 100 grand in there, and for some reason I get fucking hacked and they, steal all my money, it's insured.
Yep.
That's not the case with FTX or any of these exchanges, really. So this is such a big gamble, and then even hearing this is even more of a big gamble. So yes, my thing is these Web3 games, period. They have to have that Web2 mindset.
Hmm.
There's a way you could do both. There's definitely a way you can do both. And, in reality, like, if the game is fun, the players are going to create the economy themselves. You really don't have to force anything upon them because, like, for instance, like, look at the great games, right? Like Call of Duty, multi-billion dollars it brings in microtransactions. Why? Like, yes, they do advertiser skins and stuff like that, but I mean, do they advertise ownership? This They don't advertise any of that,
Nope.
right? Like they don't advertise you like when you get their digital because they do have it's basically a soft coin, right? Like a COD coin, right? You pay
Yep.
19.99 for 2,500 COD coin or whatever. It's like that's basically what we're doing with Web3 gaming, but they're doing it in such an easier way because
Yeah.
it's integrated within the game and is part of the game, right? That's what these guys need
Hmm.
to do. You don't like gamers aren't really good at like okay, like if they really cared about owning like stuff, then they would be demanding right now from Fortnite, I want to own my shit. Like they own it as far as it's on their profile and they can
Yeah.
use it. They just can't let anybody else use it.
And that's the easiest thing to do is like it's all about the your favorite thing is the custodial wallet is just when someone logs in with an email and password you get access to your custodial wallet. That's the same way crypto.com does it. That's the same way Bittrex does it. That's the same way every single place does it. You give them your email or phone number and a password. You can reset that password. You can log back in with it. If you forget your email or password, like you can reset all of that stuff, right? But
Mm-hmm.
they still have control of the wallet, and you don't even know, even on there, what your seed phrase is or any of that stuff. You can get your wallet address if you want to send stuff into it, and you can easily send stuff out of it. It's that it's simple. Like it seemed before like that's what they were going to set themselves up to do because that's the smartest way to do it. Because then you can make it seamless. You can make it seem like a COD with all of that stuff, and people just pay with their credit card or whatever card you're able to accept because they don't need to know they have a wallet until it gets to the point where they realize they own these assets and can then take that information and send it to their own wallet or send it to somebody else or list it on OpenSea because you can easily just click one or two buttons in the UI and get access to your wallet address number, right?
Yeah.
It's if you could do that, it would be so much better. And it's already out there. All the information to have it done is already out there. So once they implement that, I think it'll be a huge onboarding for a lot of people because you don't even at that point tell them that they have NFTs or digital collectibles or a wallet or involved or anything like that. You just tell them they have an account, and what that account is a custodial wallet. But they don't need to know that. We hit that point, brother, and we're gonna go to the moon.
Yep. And um, it's gonna be a long process. Like people are so you like the whole moving fast, right? It's just Like, I think that was just, first of all, Web3 just got started by the wrong people, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's just to be honest, bro. Like, I mean, great games, even just like, Ice Toad said, making a game is fucking hard. Like, I can't even imagine how hard making a really good game is, but I know all good games that have been put out, especially open world games, have took 3 to 5 years to make and develop, and they still and good games are still being added to and still being developed, right? So this whole where we're gonna bring out a fucking big ass game, this and that, and we're gonna bring it out quick, and we're gonna do all this. Look at how many projects failed, right? Thor, right? Just to name some of them. Projects you don't even see around anymore, right? Like,
Yep.
that are
I
just
mean, some of
non-existent.
the a majority of them did that, man. There's very few that are actually sticking around and building games like they said they were going to. One of the oldest ones that I know that I've heard of that is actually coming through with is that Wolf's game, which I don't really know much about it at all, but I heard on Spaces recently that they're actually continuing to come out with a game, right?
Mm-hmm.
But very few places that said they were coming out with a game quickly actually did anything, and or if they did, it flopped, right? Because you rush into something in a game, like you can't rush into that. It's not going
Yeah.
to be good if it is good, it's going to be good just for a short amount of time, and then you're going to get bored with it.
Yeah, man.
But this game, they've said forever that they want to continually iterate it and make it better.
Yeah.
So even when it gets to a point where they actually do start opening up combat for after they've fine tuned it with all 12 families, it's still they're gonna keep changing it, keep adding to it,
Yep.
and I'm excited and super bullish on it, man. Because if it's all based around this and like, man, once we start getting like, even if they can open up 2v2, that'd be like that, or
Yeah.
the
They're
when we
gonna
start
have
getting
that
the
eventually.
player versus environment
Mm-hmm.
and stuff,
Yep.
where it's you versus an actual storyline.
It'll be dope.
It's gonna be a ton of fun, dude.
Yeah,
This
it'll be a ton
game
of fun.
has so much potential.
Yeah, and
So
that's where the patient needs to come, right? Because, like, we can't come at it a Web3 way. Yes, we own these assets. Yes, we can own land. Yes, we're going to be staking and earning Massina coin and create an economy. Yes, yes, and yes. But in order for us to bring in the type of revenue or the type of player base that we want, we have to come at it a Web 2 way. Point blank and period. Like, you know, that's just it, right?
onboarding,
Yep.
it's not. It doesn't happen. Web 1 didn't go to Web 2 overnight.
Yep.
It took a while.
Took a
People had to
while.
actually adopt it. It went from freaking AOL chat to, I don't know. I never did it, but the Russian roulette chat,
Yep.
where people were seeing a bunch of dicks all over the
Yeah.
place. And then it went to MySpace, and then Facebook, and Twitter, and Instagram, and now TikTok, and
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, it's constantly iterating itself. It doesn't just go from 1 to 2. It's
Yeah.
not going to just go from 2 to 3. We're going to have lots of steps to get to the point where people look around and be like, "Oh yeah, now we're definitely doing Web 3."
Yeah, and
So,
Logistic can't wait for boss fights. Yeah, man. That's gonna be cool, man. If they have strong NPCs, um, and
Legit just wants to be a boss.
dude, I would
That's what
love
he.
to like run. I would love to do campaigns like number like say if we can get us and a group of friends and do campaigns together. Like that's
Oh yeah.
that's the best thing. Like I loved that. The reason why I loved Lord of the Rings was because I can have 4 or 5 of my buddies, and each of them, one can be a wizard, one can be Legolas, the elf, one can be, the troll guy, the small guy, and yeah, it's just it was super fun, man, and I think Champions is going to be a lot like this because, like, look at the map that we have. I mean, you can't really see it because we have, the elemental fact sheet up and in our images, but that map is massive, you know? So
Yeah,
it's just
it's ginormous, dude. Like I've been following the Twitter lore and stuff, and that's been really fun. And right now they have sailing across the map, right?
yeah,
And it's you could just imagine it because of all the stuff that they're going through. It's just a lot
yeah.
of space for people to get out there and explore. A lot of different things can go on in all of these different locations. They,
That'd be awesome.
the lore that's being built out is really cool. It's engaging a lot of people on Twitter, and I've noticed that it's getting some really good storytellers on there. But we're also starting to get a few more eyes on us of people that I haven't seen normally engage with the lore. So it's been fun, man. But the space that we have available. When I suggested going one place that was mentioned in a different part of the lore, and Ryder Ryan asked me where it's at, and I circled a location. He's like, "Where specifically do you think it's at?" And I looked at the map and like zoomed in, and I'm like, "There's no detail, but like you can imagine how vast this one small area of the map that probably covered about you know 1/100th of the entire map could have been." So I look forward to exploring this stuff, man, and getting out there with if they have battles outside the arena where you can get like group up with people and have combat in the open world. Man, this is gonna be so dope.
Yeah, man. Like, that's one of my party questing will be great. I cannot wait for that, dude.
Yep.
That's kind of like I'm looking forward to that more than combat, to be honest, because I like doing that stuff. I like crafting. I like looking around. If we run into a bunch of NPC bad guys, we can take them out and steal their shit or resources or whatever, right? Like, yeah, that's probably going to be one of my favorite aspects in the game.
Well, and it also gives it more longevity of playtime
Mm-hmm.
because it doesn't give you just one thing to do, right? The arena is awesome, and that's kind of what a majority of people are doing right now when they're playing, because that's the funnest thing to do in the game right now. But once they open the world up and people start walking around, yeah, Gorgata had other arenas, underground arenas, these underground caverns towards Hela. I mean, like, what's going to be on the moon? Is it going to be more than just that one building that's up there for champions to chill, or is there going to be activities you can do up there? Like, dude,
Yeah,
there's,
man.
and this is all not coming till like 2024
Yeah,
earliest.
just expect that,
Um,
man. And you know what? I'm totally fine with that because I mean, who knows?
mhm.
Like they might surprise everybody and come out with some stuff in 2023 and then, add as the year goes out, who knows that, we really don't have any type of information on that. All of us are just speculating. Um, but it might get moved back, because a lot of the stuff, has been moved back. Like the Elemental Mint, I mean, it's the 10th right now. It's the 10th today, and
Yeah.
really no date even given out. I suppose they would give people at least 2 weeks in advance to know when the Elemental date is. So we might not,
Yeah.
honestly, we might not get Elemental until January of next year.
Next year. Yeah. I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised, dude. I would be surprised if they were to try and squeeze it out this year as well. They definitely said they'd give us at least more than 3 days notice. I can guarantee you. I saw
Mm-hmm.
that. I don't know if they said they were going to give us 2 weeks notice, but they definitely said they weren't going to pop it off on us with 3 days notice like they did last time. So, um, and right now, I just haven't seen the engagement or the amount of interactions on Twitter with spaces and things like that for us to have given out the amount of whitelists required to mint out unless they are going to be doing something like one prime for one eternal, right? We
Mm-hmm.
just there's not the engagement like there was when we had the prime eternal mint. I mean, this is a free mint, So this should be something like the free mint meta is strong. So if you got a free mint and you don't have 3,000 or 4,000 people engaging with your whitelist giveaways, that's just you're not catching the eye of Web3 people for sure. And I just want to see them, which isn't necessarily what we need, but there are gamers in Web3, and we need more eyes on it. And that type of engagement brings you up towards the trending list for people who are gamers themselves as well. So
Yeah, definitely,
I just
man.
I agree, man, and I don't think we'll see the elemental mint this year, which I'm fine with as well.
Yeah.
We want new gamers,
Yeah.
and I mean all these people that are coming in on these links, with these wallets that they're creating. Hopefully, they're gonna get the tier 1
That'd be cool.
whitelist
Yeah, definitely, man. Like you just if
because
somehow,
they came in,
yeah,
right?
yep.
They already have all these wallets. They know they can track easily who logged in with no primes. So we'll see how it goes, man. But I think those people definitely deserve the opportunity because they're coming in and showing the support first and
No,
foremost.
first and foremost, they showed willingness by even creating a wallet. And that's the biggest thing,
Chris,
because when I first created my wallet, like, it was a big thing for me, man, because
yeah,
I had no fucking idea what I was doing, and I had no idea what it was about. Like, I didn't know how safe it was. All I heard was horror stories of people getting hacked and getting their accounts, and I was just like, oh shit, like, I don't want to put money into this. Like, so
yeah.
those, they showed the willingness to do that. They definitely deserve a tier 1 whitelist, or the WL, whatever you want to call it, right?
I want to know. I would like to actually know though, because they can track the metrics of who created a wallet with them, right? I'm
Mm,
sure, or the metrics of who had any activity in their wallet at all previous to playing Champions Ascension, right? Like how many people actually created wallets to play this game, and how many people were already Web3 natives who had a wallet and joined this game. That would be interesting to find out. Because I know for sure I've heard of a couple people who made wallets, but you know, how many people did we onboard from 1 2? Thankfully, yet. So hopefully they'll release that information. That would be really cool to find out.
yeah, exactly, man. So yeah, and like Jeff said, we want yeah, bro. We want real gamers. Um, we're definitely gonna have to come at a different approach, to reach those people, because you easily go to the Reddits and type in Reddit, what do Web 2 gamers think of Web 3 gaming, and there is like posts with thousands of comments on there, right? And you could just click on those, and you can read each and every one of those responses, right?
That would be
And
very flattering.
man, they're not right. They're not flattering, man. And we're even digging more of a hole by doing what we're doing with all this stuff. So we got to make it easier for them. We gotta, and I have no doubt in my mind the game's gonna be fun. It's already fun. I enjoy. Honestly, I play the slice, and 2 hours goes by like that, like quick. Um,
Yeah.
because I'm constant, and we just have what, 3 characters, right? Am I wrong? 3 characters,
Mm-hmm.
right? Imagine when we have 12. Like, it's a fun
Oh,
game.
it's gonna be insane, man. Like it's hard. I know they're having a hard time balancing these characters right now with just the 3 of them, right? Imagine what's gonna happen when they release 6, and you have 6 different characters to play against. Oh man, it's gonna be pretty fun, but it's gonna be so much harder for them to be able to balance because then you have all of these different interactions that you have to consider. So this game is we're in it at the very beginning, people, and get ready for the long haul because they're going to use and abuse the hell out of us so they can figure out exactly how to set this game up for when it's ready for its final release, for the public to actually come in and play the full game, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, because that's the thing is like you were talking earlier, games are getting developed in 3 to 5 years. We did Mint in February and had a playable game in November.
Mm-hmm.
So within 9 months, they gave us combat, right?
Yeah.
And before that, we had Slice too,
Yeah.
but we had combat within 9 months of minting. So it is alpha. It's not a finished product, but they gave us the product in 9 months.
Yeah.
So
Impressive.
they are pumping it out, but it's going to take a while longer to get it polished off. So, but you're right. I've been having a blast playing, dude.
Yeah.
I'm already looking forward to the next session that we have in another 2 hours or so from now.
Yep.
And I mean, there's some people that I definitely look forward to playing against. I hope you get a chance to play. Definitely ping me when you do, because I want to try and play you. I hear you're getting better.
Yeah, man. With the last update that came out, I felt like parrying was a lot better because
Yeah.
that was my biggest problem. Was like I couldn't parry shit. But this last update came out and I was parrying a lot more stuff, and it felt, I don't know, I just felt like my movement was better, my move execution from my button wise. Like sometimes I would press, light, heavy, and it wouldn't do it. But now I do light, heavy, and it performs the combo. I don't know if that's something they did or it's just something on my side. I got a new controller. Maybe that could be it too. But yeah, I've been enjoying it, man.
Yeah, I noticed that especially today, my controller was giving me some issues, like trying to go push buttons and then it wasn't reacting. No reaction on the screen. Sometimes it's timing, right? Like you have to get the timing right with, like, saying you're dashing in and trying to do a move. You can dash in and try and hit your move too soon and it doesn't do anything, right? But there have been times when I've dashed in and smashed my button a couple times and I'm just standing there in front of the person's face. You'll see that later when you see me face off against Zeus a couple times. And just know, that's my controller. That's not my skills. There's some really good players out there, though, man. I definitely want to give a shout out to a couple of them. Dude, Zeus is, who was Mindy? He's always been good, man. I know Arkham was doing a good job today. He beat me for sure. Legif is been a master. It's always a fun match against him. DJ Los has been getting better for sure. Wanted to give him a shout out. There's a lot of good players. That's the thing though, is like, I fucking love that because that's the same thing that I like. I like playing against harder players, and because they make you play better, right? And as you get better, the game becomes more engaging with those harder players. And Los keeps at it, man. I will give him that. He keeps at it and keeps trying to get better, so he can engage and have those, like, the long matches and the engaging matches where you're like on the edge of your seat. Who's gonna win this match? So shout out to all those players because that's who we all are. We're all just at different tiers. All right, brother. I do want to say though, the mini games have kind of, there's nobody playing them right now. Have you noticed that?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I see the BGG guys or whatever, and I don't know. They're just a bunch of bots because all they do is play crabs, man.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep. It's really hard. That crabs, and they have one crabs table, and it's always BGG, and then the Dudo is pretty much always full. Dudo is still fun, but there's nobody ever on the crabs table inside anymore, man. Nobody. and it's hard to get people to play Flower Shop. It is a little bit funner now since they've changed the rules. I know it's not quite the rules the way they meant it this time, but it's definitely fun when you can find 6 or 5 other people to play with you that are going to engage, right?
Mm-hmm.
It requires 6 people, so we just don't have enough players right now to actually play enough, right?
Yeah.
But and then drunk racing, they came out with some changes to drunk racing, which have been pretty fun. They make it so that on like 3 different barrels, you have to kind of choose between 2 which barrel you think it is, and one of them's a decoy. And then also, you can't continue walking straight for forever, right? There were some people who had pretty much mastered drunken racing and could walk in a straight line practically the entire time. And now they make it so if you do that for more than like 2 seconds, you start zigzagging. So
Yeah.
it's pretty. That game's pretty fun, but again, you still have to have a minimum of so many players, and there's not a lot of people that continuously want to play that game. So right
Yep.
now, combat's where it's at, brother.
Yep. Yeah, exactly, man. And it's gonna get better. Shout out to the Prime Minds for the good combat matches. Yeah, man. RG Explode. Me and that dude, the Kark match, it got to the point where I was just like, bro, just like this match was just too long. I was like, 15 minutes, bro. I'm like, by this time, I'm just like, oh
Yep,
my god, it gets draining to where I'm just like, oh shit, man. Like,
yep.
he keeps healing.
Oh, believe me. Kark versus Kark.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep. I had a match with Legit on that too, and like we were, I swear, like 7 minutes into the first round, and we both had full health. And it's like this match is never ever going to end. Never going to end. And then it ended in a draw, which I don't know if anyone's done that yet, but uh, it was pretty crazy. I'll submit the video. I'm gonna submit the video for the slice submission, just at the very end. Man, it was a crazy ending, and when we drew, nobody had a win. It was back to round one. It was crazy. But
yeah, man. So I mean, a lot of good stuff coming in the future, man. And then the holidays are coming up, so we can't expect the champions team to be working as much, especially with the holidays around the corner. But I expect January 1st. There's gonna be a lot of things coming out. Hey, even breeding might be postponed too, right?
yep,
So just be
yep,
patient with that. Expect it too, guys. Because you know we want it done right. We've seen so many projects fail over the time, and I feel like Champions really's got something here. And look at, man, they've been just building, building, and building, even during the bear market when a lot of other projects have run out of money and closed shop. These guys are still building, building, and building.
yep. And the other thing too is like we, especially a few of the prime minds, have been, not very happy with the some of the things that have been done, especially with pushing stuff back. But every single time they continue to deliver good content for us. They deliver. They have delivered. They have definitely delivered. So even if it gets pushed back, it's getting pushed back so that we have quality product or quality content or quality engagement that's coming out.
Yeah.
So I'm still bullish. 25 episodes in, man, still bullish.
Yeah, exactly, man. We're still bullish. We're still here. We've been here since what, March now, man? It's gonna be a year. It's crazy, dude. I can't even believe it.
We're gonna keep on pushing.
Keep pushing, keep pumping, man. That's where we're gonna be here, and we're even gonna be here when the game is fully out. hopefully by that time we'll have 1 million players, and then we'll be laughing about all the things we talked about or all the delays or whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
and then
At that point, it will be all moot.
exactly, and then there was a really cool image right here. Two of my favorite projects. I did a space recently, guys, so you can check that out on Champions Ascension. Um, Shrapnel and Champions, both are like my top two. So, yeah, man. Um, these I believe these projects are going to keep building. I'm bullish for the future. I know we're going to get wrapped up in a bit too. So, any last words, Z, or anything you want to say?
I mean, I just want to give a shout out to our community. There's a lot of people in all the guilds or not gilded up that have been here for the long run with us all, and just want to say thank you to people who've supported us, and thank you to all the people still in the CA community supporting the project that we all believe in and being there. And some of us are in the Discord often, some of us aren't in the Discord often, some of us lurks a lot. But you know what I mean? Like, shout out to all the people that are still here with us. We're still pushing through. We're the definition of we're all going to make it, right? We're not gonna get it. We're all going to make it because we're making it happen together as a community. Just want to say shout out to all those people for sure. And then I got an announcement before we dip out.
Cool. As
So,
far as me,
what do you?
man, I'm still bullish on Web3. I think there's going to be a big future. I think there's going to be bumps ahead, right? Just patience is everything, man. Wealth is not made overnight, it's made over time. So just be patient. You guys, we're all here early. Diamond fucking hands. You know what I'm saying? And the projects that you believe in that are building as we speak, 2 to 3 years from now, you are going to be thanking yourself for holding.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I agree. When the bull comes back, everybody that's here that invested in projects that are making a name for themselves by putting out quality content are going to be very happy when we're the eBays and Amazons of Web3.
Yep.
Just keep at it, boys. Whoever's here, keep at it. So, one thing I did want to announce, for anybody who made it all the way through to the end of the episode, we are going to do a giveaway. I'm going to put an announcement up on Twitter here within the next 10 to 15 minutes. It's going to be a real simple one. Pretty much just like and enter. And we have one last whitelist to give away for anybody who doesn't have one already. So thanks for listening, guys. And look for that on the Twitter. And you got anything else you want to say, Dip?
I think I pretty much said it all, man. As you know,
All right,
guys,
brother.
me and Z, and hopefully we get KingDav here soon, man. Can't wait to have that cat on here again, and can shoot the shit with him too. So, with that said, we come to you every Saturday, 12 p.m. Pacific time, and with that said, Prime Minds think alike.